Hi, I'm Sophie, and welcome to my world. Well, one of my viewers asked me if I could make a magic wallet out of duct tape. Now, I have not seen a magic wallet since I was, I want to say, 10 years old. So I had to do some research, but I did figure out how indeed to make a magic wallet and to make it out of duct tape. And so I'm going to first show you what a magic wallet is, just in case you don't know what it is, and then I'm going to show you how to make one out of duct tape. Okay, so this is a magic wallet. Basically, it's a wallet. It opens up like this, and you can see it has two sides. One side has straight edges, one side has crossed edges. So here's the magic. I'm going to make this card jump from this side to this side. Watch. I close it, say the magic words abracadabra, open it, and can you believe it? It has jumped to the other side. Now, watch again. My fingers never leave my hand. I close it. Abracadabra. I open it and it has jumped to its original position. Da-da-da! So you can amaze your friends with this, right? Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to make one out of duct tape. Now, the original magic wallet that I had when I was a kid, it was just basically, it was two pieces of board with these cross hatches, and there was no little pocket down here on the bottom. But when I started making this out of duct tape has a looseness, a malleability, which means that you can move it around. So I don't want my stuff to come flying out. I mean, what's part of the magic trick if you go like this and the card goes, whee, everybody's like, oh, there's nothing magical there. So I actually put a little teeny tiny lip down here, like a little pocket to catch whatever I put inside here. So you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but I'm going to teach you how to do it with a little teeny pocket that'll keep your stuff from sliding out. Now, what you're going to need for this project is duct tape, of course. You're going to need a ruler. You're going to need some scissors. And I'm going to show you, there's two techniques here. You're going to want to have little pieces of tape that are very, very cleanly cut. So there's two ways that you can do that, and I'm going to show you both of those techniques. You're going to want a marking pen. If you have one of those marking pens that's a dry erase pen that you can actually use, that's great, but I've got a Sharpie here, which is totally fine. I've got my work surface, and like I said, I'm going to show you two techniques for cutting really nice clean strips. So if you're going to be using an X-Acto knife, that's one of the ways, but always remember, be very, very careful with X-Acto knives. They're very sharp. And that you will need a cutting board, a self-healing cutting board, or some sort of cutting board that you can use an X-Acto knife on. I've got this great one, this plastic self-healing one. Or what you're going to want is a piece of parchment paper, and put your duct tape on the parchment paper, and then you can just cut strips this way. And these strips don't have to be too big. They basically need to be about 1/2 inch by an inch. So I'm going to cut these in half like this and cut them like that, and that's going to be the size that I want. The other way that you can cut them is to use a ruler and use your board. And I'm just going to cut straight down the middle here. You're going to want about 12 of these, and don't worry if it isn't exactly straight, because really what you want is just want that smooth edge. And these don't have to be exactly 1/2 inch by 1 inch, but you can just make yourself these little rectangles so that you've got nice clean pieces. And you can see, you can pull this up. We won't use these end pieces because those were ripped off here, but when you pick up the ones that I cut with the blade here, you can see how nice and smooth they are. See that? That is a really nice, smooth, clean edge, and that's what you want for this project. Okay, so for this project, what you're going to want is 2 pieces of duct tape fabric that are 3 inches by 4.5 inches. And I've already prepped mine ahead of time here. You're also going to want a strip that is 9 inches long. And I've got a strip right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this strip in half. So I'm going to fold it onto itself, just like this, going end to end and edge to edge. Now sometimes when you do this, you'll get a little bit, see that, of that residual white. Just cut that off. Just cut it right along that edge to clean it up. And then what I'm going to do is cut this in half, right down the middle. And then I'm going to cut this in half again. Now I want to keep pieces with pieces because I want them to match. And sometimes you can't get it exactly straight. Now, if I wanted to, I could have used the X-Acto knife in the measuring, but I'm going to use scissors here. It's easier. There we go. That's one set. Fold this in half. Cut it in the middle. That's my second set. Okay, I'm going to put them off to the side there. Keep them together. I'm going to save my snippets because I can always use those for decorating bracelets and all kinds of cool stuff. Okay, here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first piece and I'm going to measure to 4 inches so that I've got a 1/2 inch on this side. Now I'm going to get my little pieces of duct tape ready. And I'll just use these guys because they're here and they're quick and easy. I love parchment paper because it makes it almost like a piece of tape, like you could just pull it right off like a piece of tape. So I'm going to have these ready to go. Okay. So I'm going to fold this up at that 1/2 inch mark, and then I'm going to take one of my little pieces of tape here, and I'm going to seal this so they make a little pocket. I'm seal it on one side, flip this over, seal it on the other side. Now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to fold this over to secure it. Fold this over to secure it. Now here's the thing. See those little tabs? I'm just going to snip those right off. Snip and snip. Because what I did was I lined my tape up with the edge of my little pocket there. Now I've already made myself my second pocket because you want to have 2 exactly matching pockets here. Now this one is a tiny, tiny, tiny bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is just lay this on top here, and you can see that this one's a little teeny bit bigger. I'm just going to trim that. Just right across the top so that they're the same height. All right, now it's time to make the magic. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my card so I have something to put in here and keep me straight. Okay, I'm going to put that like that. And the first thing I'm going to do is my straight across. I want to make sure that I'm locking in my top and locking in my bottom, but I want to leave space in between. So I'm going to go about 1/2 inch, finger, like a finger, from the top, and a finger from about 1/2 finger from this little lip here, from my little pocket. I'm just going to lay this like this. Now you notice that I've got like 1/2 inch over on this side and 1/2 inch over on this side. That's very, very important. Now, I'm going to take my second piece, I'm going to flip it over so that the back, without the pocket, is facing up. And now what I do is get those little pieces of tape ready. You can see why this is why you want it to be nice and clean, because you don't want these to show. And if you rip tape, it leaves an edge, and that makes it not so neat. Okay, I'm going to take that piece, I fold this little flap up and over, and put my little piece of tape down right at the edge there. I didn't go over the edge, I just went right up to the edge. Once again, the bottom one, I'm going to fold it up and over. And take a little piece of tape. See what I mean about how this parchment is really nice because they just peel right off. Okay. And right to the edge. Can you see that? Right to the edge. And seal it down. Okay, now I'm going to flip the whole thing over. Don't open it, just flip it. Whole thing over. See these little edges? I'm now going to do the same exact thing that I did on the other side. Fold. Whoop, if it slips a little bit, just make sure you line it back up again. Okay. Now this one I have a little bit more on this side, so I'm going to use a second piece of tape. You can trim these pieces to be a little bit smaller if you want to. But you want to make sure you have enough that it'll fold over, like that. Okay. You should be good with about 14 to 16 of these little tabs of tape tabs. Okay, there you go. Now that's the first beginning. And now when you open it up, you can see there I've got my first set. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take these second strips, and what I want to do is open this up so I have some space. I need to make my X in between the dead space here, this negative space. So what I'm going to do is take my one strip and lay it like that on an angle. See how I've done that on an angle? I'm making an X. And I'm going to lay my second strip on an angle. Now, kind of figure there's your center, so you want that X to kind of meet in the center there. But see, again, I've got hang over here, hang over here, hang over here, hang over here. Now what you want to do, and if you want to, because you're afraid that this might slip on you, what you can do if you want to is just put like a little piece of tape here and a little piece of tape here to secure it to your work surface. Okay, now I'm going to take this and just scooch it back on top, like that. Now, this is very, very important. See my X? We're going to do the same exact thing that we did with the other ones, but I need to make sure that wherever I'm putting my foldovers and tabs, I haven't already taped something there. I haven't taped the other straps there. If I'm taping it on the same side that the straps are, I'm wrong. My layout is wrong. So just make sure that you are taping on the opposite side here. So see, you can see here's where I taped before. Now I'm going to fold these guys over and tape on this side. This is really, really important, or the magic won't happen. No magic will happen if you tape on the wrong side. Okay, scooched, and fold the other side. Now, when you are doing the diagonals, you're going to notice that as you fold that tape over, it has a little bit of an angle to it. See that? That's okay. That's part of it. Okay, and there we go. Now I can undo these, save these pieces. And once again, I'm going to flip the whole thing over. Okay, whole thing over. Now, see, this is where it's already been taped. This side has not been taped. I'm correct. I know I'm correct. So I take this and just fold it over. See that slight angle there? Put my tape and fold it over. See the slight angle. Tape. There we go. Now I've got a little bit of extra there, so what I'm going to do is just put this little tiny last piece of tape. The perfect number of pieces of tape. Okay, there we go. And now it's time to test the magic. Ready? You take our card, you put it in one side. You close it and open it, and you'll see it has shifted. Then you close it again and open it. Now, it will only open and close in the right direction, so don't worry. Once you figure out which direction to open it, you'll always open it correctly. So there it is. Close it. Dun da da. Close it. Dun da da. And that makes you very, very magical. Now, I do want to let you know that you can make your wallet more sturdy, a little less flimsy, if you use cardboard. So if you can put cardboard on the inside, it makes it a little stronger. You know, you could see that this is just a little bit less flexible than just all duct tape. And if you want to, you can even make them larger, and you can even do the same thing with a cell phone. So ready? Abracadabra, da-da-da, abracadabra, abracadabra, abracadabra. For more magical ideas to impress your friends, come and check us out at Sophie-World.com.